Now that I've written reviews of Marvel Unlimited for over a decade, I'm well aware that most Is Marvel Unlimited Worth It conversations can be quite succinctly summed up by a simple one word yes. In an increasingly crowded digital comic streaming landscape, this question isn't quite so simple. Although Marvel Unlimited continues to offer the single best value for digital comic subscriptions by several thousand miles, the service has historically had notable limitations that truly reduce new users' ability to actually read their comics. An evaluation of pros and cons is well worth it before you commit your money. So, what is Marvel Unlimited exactly? For the uninitiated, Marvel Unlimited is the digital subscription service offered by Marvel Comics for a monthly fee of $9.99 in the US or an annual fee of $69.99 or $99.99 for Marvel Unlimited Plus. You get access to the Marvel Unlimited digital library of comics on your desktop or mobile app. Once you've paid and signed up, you can read as many Marvel comics as you like, as often as you like, whenever you like. In short, it's a Netflix or Spotify style, all you can eat style service strictly for Marvel Comics. We're going to talk about that today. I'm Dave Busing, founder and editor in chief of comicbookherald.com. If you're listening to this and you like it, please like the video, subscribe, share so folks can find more stuff we're doing here at CBH. Okay. Essentially, you can read the entire history of Marvel Comics and well over 30,000 comic books at whatever pace you choose with MU. Okay. Seriously, the library of comics is immense to the point that Comic Book Herald's reading club, My Marvelous Year, covers Marvel Comics published in every year from 1961 through present day with only very, very minor gaps. Once you have subscribed to Marvel Unlimited, you do not need to pay for individual comics on the app. That said, it's important to remember that you will not own any of these comics in a digital format, right? Once your subscription ends, your access ends. So, the real question here, what's the best Marvel Unlimited plan? The first thing to be aware of is that throughout 2025, Marvel Unlimited has offered a weekly free trial to new subscribers. Okay, the best way to decide if you're interested is to try it out for yourself. What should you read during your free trial? Don't worry, Comic Book Herald always has you covered on comics recommendations. You can find links to my Where to Start guide and videos in the show notes. And just throughout comicbookherald.com, I make it very easy for you. Personally, I've been on the annual subscription for the past 15 years, and it's my recommendation. You'll save $50 a year compared to the monthly rate, and considering most print Marvel comics go for $4.99, you're practically getting the entire history of Marvel for the monthly price of a single print comic book. The monthly sub tends to offer the best value when Marvel is simultaneously running a promo, which is not that unusual. For example, in October 2024, Marvel was advertising 50% off your first 2 months using an Agatha All Along related promo code. So if you're new to Marvel, you could do 7 days free, then 2 months at $4.99 a pop. You just got almost 70 days of comics binging for $10. These promos tend to align with big tentpole MCU TV and movie events, right? I'd anticipate one upcoming at the time of this video's release with Fantastic Four in July 2025. The other upside of the monthly subscription service is you can really feel out if you're going to use it regularly before committing to the annual, right? You might find, actually, I kind of just wanted to catch up on like one Hickman run and I'm good, right? But many of you, I think, will find like, no, I binge these things like crazy. As for the annual plus option, this is best if you see something you like in the exclusive collectible kit that comes with membership. For example, at the time of this update, the following was advertised. You had a Hasbro Marvel Legends Nova figure, not available anywhere else. Classic Rocket Raccoon by Scotty Young Pin. You get a variant comic, couple variant comics. Loki's Broken Horn helmet patch. Invites to Marvel events. You get 10% off on Marvel goods at the Disney store. Now, personally, I'm pretty comics obsessed, so I've never felt the need to upgrade to Annual Plus. The Annual gives me everything I need, which is reading all of the Marvel comics. But it's, I guess, not a bad value if you like collecting Legends figures. You're probably going to see any exclusive Marvel Legends stuff go for a min of $30 anywhere else, for example, which is all you have to upgrade to here. So if that's of interest to you, go for the Plus. Otherwise, personally, I've always just been on the Annual. Now, the question here, the real question, why wouldn't you sign up for Marvel Unlimited, right? Honestly, if you're interested in getting started with Marvel Comics or catching up on a series, it's a fantastic value, okay? For the price of an annual sub, you could purchase maybe 7 new trade paperbacks of Marvel stories, totaling something like 42 issues of comics. So again, you're going to get 30K Marvel comics plus the Star Wars comics universe. So financially, there's really no argument against it. And again, as such, I find it easier to discuss reasons you might not want Marvel Unlimited. For me, the number one reason is you only want to read the newest Marvel comics. Marvel Unlimited is most useful for anyone who wants to catch up on a vast, overwhelming library of 30,000 plus comics. It's for readers who want to consume every story ever told. It's not as great for readers who want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Marvel publishing right now. If you want to know what's going on in Ultimate Spider-Man right now, Marvel Unlimited may not be the best service for you. Your best bet is going to be picking up new Spider-Man issues from your local comic shop. That said, as of late 2020, Marvel Unlimited adds new comics 3 months after their publication date. This is the best update to MU services since the app debuted in 2013. For example, the new Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto smash hit Ultimate Spider-Man debuted in January 24. So Marvel Unlimited subscribers could read the first issue in April 2024, 3 months later, and read the first 6 issues, aka the first full collected story arc, by October 2024. This is pretty close to mirroring the trade waiting approach, as Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, including issues number 1 to number 6, first became available as a collected print book in September 2024. So to give you a sense of how this scales, at the time of this video here, summer 2025, you'll be able to read the first 15 issues of Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man in MU, again, by the end of June. In print, the series will be up to issue number 18, with the first 2 trades collecting issues 1 to 12 out in the wild. So the trade-off here is, 1, the Marvel Unlimited reader will be 3 months behind the story, which can feel like a lot for bigger books, especially if spoilers are involved. And 2, the Marvel Unlimited reader will spend $7.99 a month for those 3 months, whereas buying the issues in print, which does mean you get to own and store them forever and ever, will run you $15 plus tax. And that's just for one comic book series. So again, the savings of MU are enormous. It's worth noting as well that the Marvel Unlimited team got a lot more effective at adding more comics to the library over the past few years, filling in everything from 90s X-Men to 70s Tigra. New comics are added weekly, with legacy series updated maybe 1 time per month from the looks of it. For example, I saw some 90s Midnight Suns and 90s Wolverine updated so far in 2025. So the library is genuinely constantly expanding. Plus, again, every 3 months, they're adding all the new comics that they're publishing on a regular cadence. If you're familiar with DC Universe Infinite, this is one area where DC does reign supreme, just the timeliness of it, with DC's Ultra tier. So if you're paying extra, you can get new comics with only a 1 month wait. That's kind of best in the biz right now. We're coming up on 3 years since DC announced this option, though. So it doesn't seem like Marvel is in any hurry to chase the competitor in making their comics available on the streaming service quite so quickly. The second reason you might not want Marvel Unlimited is because it might not be available in your country. One of Marvel's biggest competitive advantages with DC right now is that Marvel Unlimited is available in far more regions of the world. At this point, MU availability is close to worldwide, right? And I've confirmed you can access the app in the US, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Australia, Persian Gulf, and South America. By comparison, I've heard from global readers in Mexico, Brazil, Peru, the Netherlands, Romania, Denmark, and South Africa that DC Universe was still not available. Now, some of that was changing as of this year. That stuff's always in flux, but it gives you a sense of the scale kind of heading into this. While you may be able to access the Marvel Unlimited app, some limitations may still exist in your region. For example, I've heard from readers in Peru and Australia that Marvel Insider points achieved through some of Marvel's reading experiences were not available in their region. That's an expiring thing as of this year, but it gives you, again, a sense of like there may be limitations to this if you're outside of the US. And at least one reader has told me MU is not available in their region yet, in the Middle East, non Persian Gulf. So you got to look into that, right? You got to figure out, okay, can I actually get this? Is this option available to me? Likewise, annual plus membership gift boxes are limited to addresses within the US. So if you're sending the annual plus option, I think for that one, you actually have to be a US resident. Broadly, though, Marvel Unlimited available for a majority of interested comics readers worldwide. It's worth a reminder that the comics are almost entirely in English regardless. So that is the language they are going to need to be read in. Okay, final thought. If not Marvel Unlimited, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to use? Whether you wind up subscribing to Marvel Unlimited and you have access, I would highly recommend seeing what your local library offers, both in print and via apps like Hoopla and Libby. Both apps tend to have a robust collection of Marvel trades available that may whet the appetite for the Marvel Universe, especially for newer fans. Plus, just libraries are full of great comics and my favorite places in the world. Other than that, though, if you want full runs of Marvel titles, aside from pirating, Marvel Unlimited is the most convenient, most viable above board way to do it. DC Universe Infinite is interesting competition, late to the game, but interesting competition. Nonetheless, the comic offering is following Marvel Unlimited's lead in pretty much every way, right? Because they launched so much later than MU. They lag behind on the depth of catalog. Marvel got a good decade plus head start on DC on this one. So I'm excited DC Universe exists, not least of which because it pushes Marvel Unlimited to improve. But make no mistake that MU is still kind of the best game in town, regardless of preferred content. So personally, again, I've been on the annual plan for over a decade. I'm going to keep doing that here on Comic Book Herald and My Marvelous Year Club. It's pretty essential to me. I use it maybe more than any app, honestly, and I will continue happily subscribing to Marvel Unlimited indefinitely. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have thoughts, disagreements with things that I may have said here, let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear it. Maybe we can do an update. Probably not. Once this is out, I'm not going to want to update anything, but I will look at the comments and I may update the article on Comic Book Herald where I've been answering this question for years and years and years. So thanks everybody for listening. And as always, enjoy the comics.